Hello. Hi, everyone. I welcome you back. Sorry for that technical glitches. Sorry for the technical glitch. It does occur. I welcome you back. We're going to continue in our live stream right now. I welcome you. Sorry, I must apologize for that technical glitch. We are seriously working hard to fix it. And we are going to continue. It's just a normal technical glitch. And you know, it does happen sometimes. So finally, we are back online. Welcome back. Sorry for that distraction. So we are still talking on our topic that we started a few moments ago.
Yeah, sorry, we'll have to start from the beginning because obviously we landed and the voice was
the
muted.
volume was muted.
There was no sound.
So sorry for the distraction. We are back online and we have bounced back also. So like we started, I introduced our platform, which is BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub. And this is a platform where, by the help of God, we heal a lot of marriages and relationships in a godly way. And I welcome you. This is my lovely wife beside me, Mrs. Blessing. Welcome, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Say hi to our
everyone.
viewers. Yeah. So, like I mentioned earlier on, there is this important, very crucial topic, which many couples go through it today, but it's not many couples that talk about it. Many silently are going through it, but they don't speak about it, they don't talk about it. And that is handling disagreement in marriage or relationship without destroying your love. The truth is simple. In marriage, in relationships, there is bound to be disagreements. It will always be there. But what we are talking about, what we are trying to learn is how to now go through it, how to navigate through disagreements without hurting, without harming, without ruining your marriage or your relationship. And that's what we are talking about today. Now, do you remember such moments like this where a little disagreement, just a little disagreement, turns out to be like a Third World War, like a battlefield. And then at the time you begin to ask yourself, how did they even get here? How did it happen? Have you ever experienced such thing?
Of course. Oh, yes.
She can better tell you. She can better explain it. Yeah.
Have also had our own fair share of how did we even started? How did we come this far? Honestly speaking, it might sound surprising. We are not superhuman.
Yeah, of course.
We are being real. The truth of the matter is disagreement is normal.
It's natural. It does occur.
It is very normal. In every relationship, you always disagree and agree again.
And come to terms.
This disagreement can range from the smallest bit of, maybe like choice of breakfast to the biggest one you can ever think or imagine.
Exactly.
But the truth of the matter is, it is real. It is undeniable.
Yeah, of course.
Any couple, no matter how spiritual, no matter how old they've been in marriage, it's not a matter of, oh, we've been in marriage for 30 years, 50 years and all that. You've been in marriage for a year, even for months, you experience it. The earlier we understand it, embrace that fact, the better for us.
The better for us.
There are so many truths that we shy away from. It seems as if it's not real. Does it mean these people quarrel? You might not really call it quarrel, but what we're talking about is like a disagreement, which, if not well handled, it can become a quarrel. It can become a big blown issue that can even result to separation or divorce in marriage. That's how that's how some of them can actually end up.
Exactly.
So, but the truth of the matter is, it is real. We must embrace that fact and then dig into how do we, and that is why we're here today, to talk about how do we handle these disagreements in marriage so that we ensure that our marriage is still standing strong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you just heard it now, there is no marriage that does not go through disagreement. Every marriage experiences it, if not today, tomorrow.
Exactly.
All we are trying to learn at this platform is to get ready and prepare for it and know how to escape, how to navigate through it, and then continue. Because after everything, the question is, how do we move forward?
Exactly.
So today, we're going to be sharing with you some practical tips. When I say practical tips on how to fight fair, mark my word, how to fight fair, love deep, and then come out stronger. Why did I say fight fair? The truth is this: in marriage, in relationship, there is bound to be issues. There is bound to be quarrels. I'm not talking about physical punches or fighting, but there is bound to be quarrels. So, but in the midst of the quarrel, how do we continue to love deep? Because after the quarrel, there are always lessons to learn. After every issue, there are always things to pick from it. So when you learn such lessons, those lessons are meant to help both of you to love each other
to strengthen
deeply, to strengthen the union. And then what next? And then you continue to grow stronger and stronger in your relationship. Now, even after the agreement, when you begin to grow stronger. So that is exactly what disagreement is meant to do in a relationship. That is only when you understand it. It strengthens the union, it strengthens the relationship. Now, before anything else, as we are moving forward, I want you to understand, number one thing you are meant to understand is that you must come to understand this, that both of you, I'm talking about husband and wife, both of you are one. You are not enemies. You are partners in progress. You are teammates, and you are not enemies. You see, no matter what you go through, no matter what you are seeing, see yourselves as teammates. No matter what you see. After all, in a football team, for example, team members do quarrel. Team members do have issues, but that doesn't mean that they can't, when they go into the field, the football field, to play football, that they will play together to fight the opponent. Have you ever seen when they come into football team, do you think the 11 players in the pitch, do you think all of them are friendly? Some of them are enemies amongst themselves. They fight raw before going to the football pitch, but when they go into the football pitch, they focus to fight the common enemy. The same thing applies again. Have you ever noticed amongst the 11 players, for example, team A, and then maybe when one of the players make a mistake, and then other players now begin to attack or play against him or her, against him in the football pitch. No, it's not done. So even as you make that mistake, your team members still align with you. They still stand strong with you to continue to play against the opponents. And their goal is to score at the other goalpost. So the same thing should be applicable to marriage. That the man or the woman makes some mistakes or does things the way they ought not to be, or maybe there's quarrel issues between both of you. That's not the reason why you will leave your common enemy, which is the issues facing you, and then begin to fight each other. So let's get it raw here. Let's get it straight here. When both of you disagree, remember, it's not you versus your spouse. Rather, it should be both of you, husband and wife, against versus the issue, the problems facing you.
Exactly. But you know, it's very easy to forget that at the heated moment.
Exactly.
That is. I always like to be real.
Yeah.
It's always very easy to forget that.
Exactly.
Instead of seeing that your partner as your teammate, you in fact,
you tend to forget
totally it. Or he or she is totally your opponent. That's it. It's very easy to forget that, but that is why we are here.
Yeah,
at that heat of that moment, at that time when that argument is heating up, always remember, it is a conscious, it's something we have to be deliberate about. You have to tell yourself, once that matter is, cropping up to become an issue, just remind yourself, we are
teammates.
We are teammates, just like the illustration you used. If you don't lose that focus of, we are not fighting against each other. We are team. No matter what he says, whether right or wrong, at that moment, just say, we are working together for. It's for the good of the family. It's for the good of our marriage. How do we handle it best? Even if what he's saying is wrong, if you can say, oh, okay, how do I convince him to see it from this other point of view? Because the teammate in that football pitch, even if the other one have made that mistake, what do? You try to cover it up. And
you cover up the weakness.
To fight
the common enemy, which is the other side.
You won't begin to attack and expose that error or mistake your partner have committed already. Your focus should be on how to cover it up and make sure you score your goal. But once you lose that focus, you have lost it. So it's actually something we need to be conscious about so that we can win.
I like that point. In a football pitch, when a player makes a mistake, other team members try to cover up immediately.
Of course.
When they notice the weakness of their fellow player, they cover up the weakness immediately. Most times, we even see weaknesses in the football pitch, but before you realize it, it is covered. Exactly. The weakness is covered. Nobody notices it that much anymore. That is very good. And that's the tip. That's the tip here. Always remind yourself, we are both teammates. We are not opponents. And that simple mentality can reset both of your brains and save both of you from a lot of unnecessary drama or arguments. Now, also, do you think, my love, in this case that timing matters also? That is talking about picking your battles and your moments. Picking your battles and your moments, balancing everything as regards with time.
Okay,
what do you think?
Now, let's be real. If you're talking about maybe a little offense.
Yeah, because I know there are some couples have issues and then maybe the wives want to make some correction, the husband wants to make some correction, and they bring the issues up, especially happens with women. Most times, women naturally are created to solve them now.
Trying to bring up that little thing he missed.
It must be now.
At that point, when he's stressed,
heated,
it could be at the wrong time. This man is just coming back from work.
Exactly.
He's tired. It's not the right time. You just want to tell him how he is. You just want to give him what he deserves.
It must be discussed now.
That's actually, that's a bad timing.
Yeah, of course.
Because no matter how truthful or how you think that point makes sense, it is the wrong time.
Bad timing.
Part of the things I've learned from my husband is, you might be saying the right thing, but once it's at the wrong time, no matter how you want to say it, he's shut his ears.
Oh,
so if there's anything
I can tell you, it's not intentional. That's how men are made. That's how we are wired. The truth is, this men will agree with me. Women naturally are wired to want it now.
Exactly.
And that's why if you notice
to address that issue,
any issue that comes up, a woman naturally wants to address it now, right? That's why you hear something like this from them. Every time they'll ask you, they'll tell you, can we talk now? And the truth is this, women should learn this. Whenever you tell your man, can we talk now? You have lost him. He will run away from the house. if it's possible for him, he will run away. He will feel like vanishing because we don't like to hear, can we talk now?
Some people are not even patient enough. I think I can actually give them an applause if they say, if some wife are actually patient enough to say, can we talk? That means they're actually giving room for is it convenient for you?
You know why?
Some will not even ask that question. Some will not even consider, can we talk now? They just want to say it immediately.
But even at that, even if you say, I don't know how we are even wired. Even if you tell a man, in fact, the worst thing is to even tell a man and say, can we talk? Maybe you give time. Naturally, men tend to, because there's this thing that will form inside of you. Oh, I'm in trouble already. So we don't always like someone programming you and saying, giving you time. Please, can we talk by 6 p.m.? please, can we talk so and so time? We
To
don't
me,
like
I don't
hearing
even
such
think you
things.
need to say, can we talk? And you
Yep.
should know the right time. That time you people are
But
darling together, in a
Exactly.
good mood, drinking, eating, gisting. That is the right time to bring up that issue.
I think that's the best way.
Because at that time, nobody will see, you won't be offended. You will just like, oh, I want to know. What is it that I've done wrong? Please tell me. That is actually the right atmosphere to discuss that.
Yeah,
that
issue.
mess.
Mhm.
That thing he didn't do right. I remember just this week, my son was going for their class was going out for a walk, somewhere. And before that day, I was actually on night shift and I had to stop that same night because I was like, since they are going out of school and they are going to be leaving school from 9 a.m. till 3, it's going to be a long stay. And I felt the lunch will not be enough. Some of the fruit in the house has already run out, so we have to stop in the one of the grocery shop to pick up some things. Do you know? Can you believe it that as I was coming back from the night shift in the morning, I was just like, my husband was driving home. I was like asking him, I hope excellent went with this, that. He was like, oh, what? Oh my God. I was almost like mad within myself. I just calmed down. I said, after all, one, the young child have already gone to school already. Even if I start busting at one, he's driving, and I need to allow him to focus on the driving, so I will not go and destabilize him. I just have to pause and tell myself, this is not the right time to talk about this. I just bring up another issue. We started discussing. So when we now go home, we were preparing for breakfast, both of us. And I was like, my Lord, do you remember that we stopped yesterday night to pick up something? Did they stand and go to school with this, that? So, oh, I forgot. I was like, God, but this is the reason why we stopped to buy this, to buy that. You were like, oh God. He saw his mess. Let me put it like that. But if I had started attacking him at that time,
I will vanish and disappear.
He might even lead to accident on the way. One, it might lead him to even misunderstand me. But there is a way if we can learn how to be calm, just tell yourself, calm down.
And at the right time.
At the right time, you bring up that matter. He will see in fact, he will be guilty himself and he will apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. And when this child came back from school, like, oh, I said, I'm so sorry. I was actually supposed to put that for you, but I forgot.
Exactly.
And that was how we settled it.
Simple way.
So it's not as if you always be offended. Offense is there. It will always be there. But how do we handle it? That's what makes the difference.
As you go through
and
the
that's
process.
why we're praying that God will give us wisdom to know when and how to handle challenges like that.
That is it. Knowing the right time to speak. That is what matters. It's not just that you are saying the truth. You see, saying it, even though it's the right thing, even if it's the truth, at the wrong time, that is the bad idea.
Exactly.
Trust me,
so if it's something that can wait, let it wait.
Exactly.
I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wait until you both are calm and you can bring up that issue. That's the best time to talk about it.
Exactly. So I like that. It's not just what you say that is the issue or the problem. It is when and how you say it.
That's it.
When and how you say it. That's where the issue is.
And for we women, I want to also give us another point. Men are creation of ego. They have this pride in them that even though what you are saying is right, if you don't know how to put it, you've lost it.
Exactly.
You've lost it, honestly speaking. So you must know how to put that in a way that it won't look as if you are belittling them. It won't look as if you want to show them that you are wiser than them. You understand? So you just have to present it in a way that they will see that, oh, I actually got this wrong. I know there are people that instead of actually accepting the fact that they've done it wrong, they want to defend. They want to be on the defensive side. But then there is still a way to put it and they will accept. That is the wisdom I'm praying that God will release upon every women out there so that we know how and when to always say it.
Speak out. Not just about, I want to say my mind now. The way it is. I've seen people like that. They'll tell you the way it is. That's how I have to say it. Many have spoken their mind and they're in trouble now. The truth is this, very simple. You see, when you are in marriage, no matter how it is, the best marriage you can be in, the best place to be is where you are now. That marriage where you are, that's the best place you can be as far as marriage is concerned. I know why I'm saying this. I've been able to counsel many people as a pastor. I've listened to many people, both negative and positive testimonies about marriage. And I've come to this conclusion that where you are now is where God wants you to be. The best place you can be. If you leave that place, I'm not talking about, maybe there may be some few exceptions, but the truth is this, many that I've seen where you are, I can tell you that's where God wants you to be. Because that man you are married to now, that woman you are married to now, is the best person that can be with you for now. It's when you live where you are and jump, there's this tendency that you always feel that where others are, that side would have been the best side. It's only when you get to that side, that's when you really understand. Who is there? Yeah, I like your comment. Yeah, that's very good. I like that your comment is very, very, very nice and it's welcoming. And it's also teaching others, because even as we teach you, we learn from you also. So bring in your contributions, bring in your ideas, speak out in the comment section. The Lord will bless you. So what am I trying to say here? Sometimes you are being tempted to feel that the other side of marriage would have been best or better. You see someone else. The truth is, many marriages you see today, most of them are like Instagram version of marriage. I know what I mean. You understand what I mean? Facebook version of marriage. Online. Let me just encapsulate it. Online presentation. You see them from afar. They look very nice, very enticing. When you go there, you understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you are even being tempted to see some single people. You feel, oh, I wish this person is going to marry me. Do you know that most of those people you see, they can only be friends to you, with you now. It's when you leave the place you are and jump to that side, that's when you see that all those people you are saying, they are only friends. None of them is ready to settle down. One. Those of them that are ready to settle down, not someone like you. They can't settle down with someone like you because they know that you are no longer young. But when they see you in marriage, they will be trying to pull you. They will be telling you, come. They tell you, come. When you step out, they will step out themselves and disappear. So what are we saying here now? Please calm down. You have not done marriage. Where you are now is the one you have. And that's the one you are sure of. You're not sure of those other ones. Hold it tight. Make it work by all means. So now, my love, now, what about listening? Not just listening, but listening to understand. Listening in order to understand. What about it? You are listening not just to argue. You are listening not to defend yourself, but you are listening in order to give understanding. You are not listening to even respond. Because most of you are tempted. That's where many of us, we mess up. We miss it. We listen to reply instantly because we have waste in our mouth already to defend ourselves. We listen to argue. We listen to defend.
I think I'm guilty.
Understanding.
I'm guilty of this charge. Because most time, as your partner is talking, you're already
ready what in your mouth?
Trying to prepare what to come back with. You want to defend. You want to say, oh, this is the reason why I've done this, without even actually listening to what he's saying. Because if we can actually listen and see yourself in that person's shoe, reason from his own point of view,
from his perspective,
you actually there might not be reason for you to attack. That's the honest truth.
You're planning to come back.
Because once he's talking, you're already preparing
for a comeback,
planning for a comeback.
Want to launch attack
instead of listen. That is not the way.
Exactly.
If we must handle disagreement in marriage successfully and make sure we don't ruin our love, we must have a good listening ear.
Exactly.
Just be calm. Listen to what he's saying.
Take time.
And then, if there's any reason why you need to maybe explain some point, then you can. But don't at that initial point just you want to defend. You want to, throw it back on that person. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So here is the practical tips. Try to repeat when issues are raging. Try to repeat back what your spouse just said. before giving your response.
But that's only when you listen, because you cannot like paraphrase. You cannot like you want to repeat what that person has said just to be sure you are well understood that this is exactly what he meant. If you don't listen, you cannot do that.
Exactly.
And that's why it's actually very important for you to give a listening ear, and for you to be sure that you are well understood, as in what that person is saying is what you grab. You can now like paraphrase. Is this what you mean?
Exactly.
Do you mean this?
Are you saying that you feel hot when
that shows that you are listening? That is the only way that your partner will even know that you've actually listened to what he says.
Now, how to cure ourselves of this? Always tell yourself that whenever it is raging or your spouse is presenting something, all you will do, remind yourself that the secret, the key to this is to try to repeat back what the other person is saying. And the only way you can achieve it, you can't repeat back what you've not you listened to. It's only what you understand, what you give attention to, you understand it, that's what you can repeat back. So if I don't listen to what you're saying, I cannot ask questions like, oh, do you mean to say that when I did so and so thing, it hurt you? So it's only when I listen to you that I can pick it from you. So, but if you always tell yourself that I have to repeat what you said before I can give my own response, it will help you to listen, because only listening that can give you what to use to repeat back. That's it. So now, my love, what do you also think about watching your words? Because we have been talking about speaking, giving excuses, responding, this and that. What do you have to say? What do you have to say about watching your words? Why am I saying this? Because as far as I know, as far as I'm a little level of understanding, our words carry weight.
Of course, words are very powerful. And once you have released it, it's out already.
It's gone.
You can't get it back again.
Exactly.
Words are like seed. And once you sow it, definitely give it time. It will germinate.
Exactly.
You know, to me, I think it's actually better for me I can take minutes, hours, days to respond than to, you know, attack immediately. You want to show that you have words in your mouth immediately. There's something I learned from my mom. My mom will always say, before you release a word, bite it, like chew it, digest it before you voice it out. It has actually helped. It has helped me personally. It will help you not to
be in a haste,
you know,
to speak.
It has actually helped me, because if you are quick to respond, and then at the end of the day, you see what that if you had given time, you wouldn't. There's something I've also learned, that I don't need to respond at that time I'm angry.
For any reason.
At that time that, you know, I'm boiling. Just learn to be calm.
Yeah.
And you find out that if you should allow that matter to, you sleep over it the next day, it's not the same reaction that you would have given that same time that you would have given if you had sleep over it. Exactly. So we should always learn how to be mindful with the words we release.
Or better still, one of the ways to help yourself, whenever you're angry, you're boiling, you're raging, just get a tape, get a recording tape, or put on your phone tape. No, what I mean, put on immediately issues are boiling, raging with your spouse, try to put on your recording tape or whatever.
You won't believe it,
or record on your phone, and then record all the things you are saying from your anger.
Then later you
play it back. By the time you play it back, you feel like going back to edit it.
Exactly.
You know, it's too late. So by the time you have heard the way you reacted, the things you said with your mouth, even you will doubt it. So next time it will help you to control. Because the truth is this, whatever you say, it will be taken against you. It will be used against you in the court of law. And most times, women are always the ones that receive the worst of it. I know why I'm saying this. Most times, a man will do something, but when the wife will react from what the wife says, men know how to hold their wives from the words of their mouth. And before you know it, you'll not be hearing something like, the woman I use my own money to marry. Look at what she said to me. And then she will call all the women, she will call all his village people and say, come and hear what the wife I use my money to marry said with her mouth, without respect. You see, king's men will gather, and then what you'll be hearing, why did she say such a thing without respect? And then before you know it, even though he did the wrong thing, you are now apologizing to him. So what are we trying to say here? I'm not trying to justify men in whatsoever their wrongdoings, but the truth is this: mind what you say, because definitely it will bounce back. It will be used against you later, not when you are saying it, but after you have finished saying it.
And there's something about words too. Maybe, after you've released what you have said already, and you felt that you've said the wrong thing, you can actually apologize to your spouse. You will forgive. But just like I said, once you have released it, you have sown a seed. You will sleep 2-3 days, months later, that word will keep recurring.
Recurring in your head.
So,
exactly.
So my husband actually
said this. And that's why, do you know that
you begin to ruminate over it and you'll be like,
exactly,
you can't believe, does he really truly love me?
Said something like this. And that's why the truth is this. Do you know that there are some things that are better in your mind
than in your mouth.
I told my wife, I told her, I said, there are things that are better to be in your mind than to come out from your mouth.
It's true.
You see, once they have left your mind and then come out from your mouth, you will regret it forever. So it's better. There are things you don't just say. Like I said earlier on, there are people that have spoken. I just want to speak my mind. Know me. There are people that have you heard people say something like that? They say, everybody knows me. I always say, just because he or she has not entered trouble yet. If they will tell you, they know me, everybody knows me. I always speak my mind. I don't waste time. And once I say it, I drop it, bam, and then that's all. It's a lie. One day, in your innocence, you will speak and they speak yourself into trouble. There are people that are suffering today just because of what they uttered out of their mouth, what they said from their mouth. They said it not having any bad intention. They said it because they are good, out of the abundance of their heart. They just want to be good. But because it has come out from their mouth, they are in trouble. They have not come out from it up till now. So,
of course, and now ask yourself that question. Are we actually, speaking or disagreeing because you want to win? You want to show that you want to show that you know it.
You want to be on top.
Because at the end of the day, what is the point if you lose trust in each other?
Yeah, just because you are just
there's your mind. I don't feel there is a point. There's any it doesn't make sense. It's better calm yourself down. I say, because there's a way you will talk. You make the other person lose trust in you.
Exactly. So exactly.
We are not fighting because you feel that you want to make that person know that you know it all.
In the long run, all we are talking about here is learn to speak life into your marriage. Words carry weight. Speak life. Don't ruin your marriage by your words of mouth. Learn to speak life, even in the disagreement. Avoid using words, very hard words like you always do this. Don't use harsh words like you will never. You have never. That's conclusive. I know him. He will never. He has never. No. Like a man, those days, in one of the stations I was, one of my other workers came to me. He was just angry, raging in my office. I asked him, what's your problem? He said, Pastor, can you imagine the wife that I married for 34 years now, 34 years old marriage? My wife said that since I married her, that she has never eaten my money.
That's using an extreme word, never. And I think that's why that's another very important point.
Never.
Don't go that far of using never. You always do it. That's what you always do every time. That word is so hurting. It's just like you are stabbing that person.
No, you don't use that extreme words like that. You have okay. Now look at how I managed to calm this man down. A marriage of 34 years old, and I sat him down. He sat down and I asked him, "Can you believe if in your dream you are dreaming and maybe an angel fly to you in your dream and say to you that since you married your wife, that your wife has not eaten your money. Will you ever believe that? He said, no. How can I believe such? And I asked him, so why did you not believe this one? Why are you raging? You are raging into my office because you believe it. Because if you didn't believe it, why will it be troubling you? But I'm not trying to justify the wife for using that harsh word. It's wrong. Even though the man does not believe it, the truth is this: using such language
it's too
harsh, it's too bad. It's too bad. There's no how you say that a marriage of 34 years old, that the wife has not spent the man's money.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's wrong. So this, using words like this, can only end up making things worse. Now, as we are concluding, because of time, we are running towards conclusion, not yet concluding yet, because it's still interesting what we are talking here, but we are nearing conclusion. I want you not to forget this. Don't forget this, that even as it is raging, learn to pray. Very important. Learn to pray, not just praying, pray before, pray during, and also pray after all these disagreements.
So, hold on.
Now,
do you mean before we argue, we say, Father God, help us?
No, that's not what when I say pray before, it's not that you go to the man and say, let's hold hands together in agreement. Father, in the name of Jesus, as we are about to start this argument now, no. Or maybe during the argument, as it is raging, you say to your spouse, hold on, wait. I want us to pray now, as it is still raging. That's not what I mean, pray during. And what I mean, pray after. It's not after the argument. You now say, Father, thank you for a successful disagreement and argument. No.
You're not even in the right state to even make that prayer. You already, because if the argument didn't settle well, you are fuming, you are tense, you are angry.
But the truth is, prayer before, after, during, and after is very, very important.
Yeah, of course, I know we can't leave prayer out of this conversation. The truth of the matter is, you know, you want to start that argument because somebody started it.
Yeah.
But if you are actually seeing yourself as teammates, you are not starting it because you want to ruin that person. You're not saying it because you want to win the fight. You are bringing up that matter because it's something that needs to be discussed. It's something that needs to be settled. Honestly, if you have that originally in your mind, I think before you even try that, it's just like, Father God, just pray that you do. It's just a silent prayer in your mind.
Yeah.
That you just like, Father, help my spouse to actually understand the point I'm
prayerfully do it.
As you people are arguing, he's saying his own. You're also whispering in your mind, Father, help him to understand the angle I'm coming from.
Exactly.
It's just but if you're not conscious of that prayer, knowing fully well that you can't leave God out of that, God is the heart of the kings is in the hands of God.
The hands of God.
That your difficult spouse, you are saying, you don't know that woman. I've heard people say, if you know the man I marry, if you know the woman I marry, you will know that
nothing can change you.
Nothing can change. No. God made him.
It's a lie.
No matter how difficult, no matter how tough you think it is, God have his heart in his hand.
And God has what it takes to change his heart.
If you are conscious of that and you always, praying in your mind about it.
Before you go to discuss.
Will soften his heart
and
mind.
Do you know that even during the argument, as he's sitting up in your mind, you can continue making the prayers. Father, help me. Help me so that this man can understand the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Help him to understand so that he will stop arguing too much. That's true. That one good thing about prayer is this. Prayer not only changes situations. Prayers not only changes things. Prayers also changes people. Prayers can change both of you. Prayers can change your spouse that is arguing too much. Prayer can even make you to know how to talk, how to speak at the right time. That's one good thing about prayers. So prayers can go a long way in terms of softening the heart of your spouse. That's the truth. And when you invite God in your disagreements, you know what it means? You are reminding yourselves that God is the true center of your marriage. You know, when you depend so much on prayers, before, during, and after, it shows that at least it shows both of you that even you that is making the prayer, even though your spouse may not be making the prayer, but it makes you to understand that you are dependent on God in everything, that you can of your own self do nothing.
You don't have the power to change that your partner.
Exactly. So simple prayers like Lord, help us to hear each other.
But you know, most time we think is by hitting him hard on the head, telling him how he is, how stupid he behaved, that will change him. You're making matter worse.
At all. If God
you can never get anything out of that mindset. And you want to hit him hard. You want to show him how foolish he behaved.
You end up receiving the worst. You end up receiving the worst.
Honestly, that is not the key to settling disagreements in marriage. I must tell us.
Do you know, I must tell you, most women that are out of marriage today, I'm not saying all, most of them, if you should meet them now, they will tell you the sincere truth that wherever you are now, please calm down. Take it easy. You are not in a war zone with your husband, with your wife, with your spouse. Take it calmly, take it easy. You see, most of them, they receive the worst of it just because they are trying, they just want to be, I want to be real. They just want to, give it to the man or to the woman, tit for tat. They just want to prove a point. They just want to, make their spouse understand that they know they are right. They know what they are doing. You see, the truth is, many people that knew what they were doing, now they are no longer in marriage. Many people that have their senses intact, brain, they know what they are doing, they know they are right. Let me just use that language. People that know they are right now, they are no longer in marriage. I'm not saying that you shouldn't know what is your right, but the truth is this. Just like when it comes to driving, they will teach you that your right is given to you. You don't demand your right. Your right is given to you. What does it mean? When you are driving, you don't say, since it's my right now here, then you will now speed up. It's my right to run at the speed of 60 when you see that the road is narrow. Or you come to a traffic, what's it called? No, in a zebra, a kind of a pedestrian crossing, and you see that the light is still showing you as the driver green to go ahead. But you see a pedestrian crossing. Will you now match him because you say it's my right to zoom past? No, you have to wait. That right has to be given to you by the pedestrian stopping. But if the pedestrian does not stop and it's going to go in, you yourself don't demand it. That's how we miss it in marriage. We know you are the man, you are the head, lordship. It's lordship in marriage. We know you are the king of the jungle. Hey, but it now looks as if the time now came, something happened. It looks as if your wife didn't accord you that title. She missed it. She didn't just recognize you as the head in one or two occasions, or maybe in a little situation. You see, that does not mean that you will now recklessly ruin your marriage or your relationship. Don't come and begin to shout, don't you know me? Don't know I'm the head in this. No. Most times, you demand your headship by what you do, not by commanding it, not by driving everyone in your home away, scattering everyone in your house because you want to prove that you are the man. No, the truth is this. There are things you do automatically. You be the man, you be the head. You are not the man because you are wearing trousers. You are not the man because your head is bigger than your wife's head. You are not the head. They say, I'm the head of this family. You are not just the head because your head is bigger than your wife's head. No, you are the head by the way you do, especially when it comes to understanding. Because in the Bible tells us that you have to dwell. You dwell with women, with your wife, with understanding. So if you remove understanding, you can't dwell with your wife. So what makes you, qualifying you as the head, as the man of the house, is your understanding in everything. And remember, don't forget, one of the most important tasks God gave to men, which is the number one task given to the man, according to Ephesians chapter 5, it says, husband, love your wife. Do you know, I always tell my fellow men that the man has the highest task in all the assignment God has gave to man and the woman. The one for man is the highest, the toughest.
Because it's difficult to love.
Because it's only God that so much loved the world that He gave. It's only because, are you seeing what love can do? What love makes you to even give away your right, which is not that easy. So if you are the man, and Bible says you love your wife the same way, I even say it even went further. I say love your wife the same way Christ loved the church, and they gave himself for the church. Yeah, the Bible even compared it. The love the man should love his wife with to the love Christ loved the church. And how did he even love the church? The Bible says that he gave himself for the church. Now, what does it mean here? If you are a man and you get married, what Bible teaches you that you must love your wife the same way Christ loved the church, and they forfeited. He's right. Do you know? Can I explain this scripture very well?
Which is a very difficult task for a natural man. It only takes a man who
has Christ. And that's why I always tell men,
it's taxing.
If you must survive in this game, embrace Christ. Just love God. In fact, get married to God first. Get married to Jesus before you can survive marriage. If not, you will crash it by your own hands. You will destroy your marriage one day with your own hands. So now, how do you explain the scripture now? If you must love your wife according to the scripture, the way the Bible says it, it simply means giving away your rights, forfeiting your rights. Now, when you are right, take it that you are wrong. Let there be peace. That is that scripture for you. When there is only one food in the house, leave it for your wife and stay. That is the meaning of that scriptures. You give away your rights for her just to maintain peace. And that's why if you're a man, if you are in your senses, you can't survive marriage, because your wife will always make you, she will always put you to test. She will always test your patience to be sure that love is still there. The love that Christ loved the church and gave himself for the church. So if you come from this side, she come from here. I always tell men, your wife will wake up. Women have multifaceted. Women are multidimensional. She can wake up this morning, today, she wake up from one department, entirely different department, different from where you saw her yesterday. Maybe yesterday she woke up from theater art department, and then everywhere, so jumping up and down, playing your phone, happy with everyone. Then today, she will now wake up from economics department of economics, and then you hear something like, my love, baby, since you married me, have I even eaten your money? All your salary you have been paid since you started working, what do you even use them for? She's the one eating them. She's the one using them, going to market, spending them. And then the same person will begin. That's the one my wife used to ask me before, and she knows she has stopped it. We'll be spending money, spending. And after one day, she will ask, all this money, wow, what did you use your own to do? See me in trouble. So thanks be to God, there's one thing she has taught me even in marriage, writing down. That's where I miss it. I was missing it before. Now that's why marriage is good. When two come together, they complement each other. They complement, they complete. My weakness she covers, I've learned from her. And then her weakness she has learned from me. Now, one of the things I've learned from her is to write down, is to calculate what is normal me. Put money into my hand, it goes straight into my pocket. And then I'll be drawing it out like where they're pulling money from ATM. I'll be dropping without calculating it. And when I finish spending, where's the money? It's all gone. But she has made me to understand that. And this thing, I found it difficult earlier on. In fact, I tried. Every time I tried it, I couldn't. And when I am paid, I begin to calculate. In fact, before the money even comes, she will even, you see, if you like, I will get the list and show you. She has already written the list of how the money is going. Nothing pained me like this before. Because I don't like it being calculated, because once you calculate it, it limits, someone that will ask me for money, I just drop. But that's the best way to go. That's why I tell men, I encourage men. See, you are not into competition with your wife. The best thing you will do for yourself is allow your wife to know how your money comes, where it comes from, and then how it goes. Allow her to know. Let me not go too far by saying allow her to control. Because if I say this, some men will knock me on my head. But let her know, because when she knows all these things, she will better understand you financially. And then she won't demand for more than what you have. And then you begin to complain everywhere. My wife, she just likes money. She wants to spend money. It's a lie. Women don't like money. It's because what is facing them, they are the economists at home. They are the ones that knows how to distribute the things. So allow them to know. In fact, allow them to calculate it. And then you have your peace. So that's all we're talking about. You understand? So let peace reign in your home. By all means, as the man, take up your responsibility. Be the head, not just by a big head, not just by wearing trousers, but by responsibility, which is responding to your ability. That is what it is.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Do you think there's maybe one of them a tip we could also share with them before we come to the conclusion? One more tip, because I think we're running short of time now.
Yes, of course. There will always be. Because as long as this topic is concerned, important tips to recognize, to handle disputes like this, you can never exhaust them. You can never exhaust them. So lastly, I must tell us this. We must learn to apologize quickly. We must also learn to apologize quickly. When I say not just apologizing, but apologizing quickly. And also forgiving completely. That's what we say, forgive and forget. We must forgive completely. Apologize quickly. Sometimes we apologize, but lately. Sometimes we forgive, but not completely. Do you know that pride is at the root, is at the base of this particular challenge I'm talking about? And this pride has ruined many marriages today, even more than money problems. Even more than money problems could. Because I know that money is the major cause of, one of the major cause of problems in marriages. But this one called pride, I don't just want to bend.
I think it's because it's very easy to dig in your heel and say, no, I wasn't wrong. We don't want to accept that you are wrong. And it's that pride. Because even when you know right within yourself that you are wrong, but because you want to cover up, you want to show that, I can't accept that I'm the one that is wrong. You just want to keep arguing and arguing, which I call a blind argument sometimes, because you know right within yourself that you are wrong. But you're just want to accept it. You're just covering it up.
But the truth is, even if you are right, being humble enough to apologize for how you made your spouse feel is really a game changer. Is something huge. It's something huge. It helps.
It makes it, because I know that if you should accept and say, oh, I think I'm actually wrong, it softens the heart. It makes the person to think, I know you made it. It was a mistake.
Even if you
but when you keep arguing, you are making you are hitting up the
yes, because in every, I always tell my wife sometimes, I said, when you see someone get angry or get offended, there's always reason for that person for being angry. It's for you to calm down and understand where the person is getting angry from. Don't just see the person and feel, why are you angry, self? Why should you? And then you see the person maybe feel moody, feel somehow. Always understand. Be humble enough to apologize and say, oh, for putting you in this mood, for making it look, in fact, for saying that I'm the one that has done what has put you in this mood, I am sorry. Now, when you calm the person down, you can now start open up another discussion next time. Don't just say, I can't be the one. So why are you moody? Why are you in this form? Why are you like this? When the person has actually said you are the cause of this. Bend down enough.
Yeah. The truth of the matter is forgiveness is just like oxygen in
It's at the
marriage.
root. You can't just do without it.
Without it, everything suffocates. Because just like we said earlier, offense will always be there. Is in fact, it's part of the package. But you will tell yourself, we'll keep forgiving.
Yeah, very
we'll
important.
keep overlooking. We'll keep forgiving. We'll keep forgetting. Because if not, then if you should start counting, if you should start keeping record, the marriage is not worth it. And I think that's one of the reasons some people break up at the end of the day. Because if that spirit of forgiveness is not there, you are always recalling. You're always remembering. You did it in last year. You did it 3 months ago. You done it last week again. It's just like you're trying to,
exactly.
You're trying to go and remove a scar from an old wound. And each time you remove that scar, the wound is fresh again. So we must just let go. I know that sometimes in reality, once you see that scar, it reminds you of the wound. Once you see that scar, it reminds you.
So what they're trying to say is that forgiving is easy, but forgetting.
Yeah, of course. Honestly,
but
you can forgive,
but
sometimes, especially when it leaves a mark behind, it's not easy to forget it.
That's why it's better not to leave a mark.
That's it. That's why if we know that when you leave a mark, it's very difficult to delete it. We have to be more careful.
So that's why
don't do anything that you leave a scar at the end of the day.
And that's why I say what I said earlier on. There are issues that you don't just allow to start. There are things you don't just say. They better stay in your mind. Don't allow them come to your mouth. There are behaviors you don't just exhibit. Just like my wife now. For example, now, I can't imagine myself beat my wife, touch my wife. I know that any day I raise my hand and beat her, I know it's just she can't bear it. She will just that's it. She will run away from marriage. You see, I can't imagine it happen, and it will never happen on earth. Now, if I understand it this way, why will I go that extent? So there are things you don't just allow to happen. Now let's. Do you still have something to say? Okay.
Not really. I think.
So as
coming to a conclusion.
Yeah, as we draw to conclusion, let's also learn to celebrate it through tough talks. Whenever we go through tough talks, let's learn to celebrate ourselves. Whenever we go through the tough situations and come out successfully.
Of course, celebrate.
We don't always do that.
It's absolutely a win. So we must learn how to, share each other up, especially when we disagree, and at the end of the day, we agree
together.
It's something good. It's something to actually celebrate.
You go through it and come out, and you are still staying respectfully living together, respecting each other, still loving each other. Man, it's not easy. After going through the tough,
it makes you to feel that so, you are going ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So we must learn to celebrate it. After the quarrels, we make peace. You have learned something new. Celebrate yourselves for that. Celebrate yourself for that. You can say something like, I am proud of you. I'm proud of both of us for handling this issue this better way. It goes a long way in strengthening your bond together. So, as we close finally, I want to encourage us, if this message today has blessed your life, please don't forget to share it with spouses or your friends or any couple that you love. They really need this message. It will change their lives. It will change their stories. Don't delay. Do well to share it with them also.
Yes, of course. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you more in our next video.
Yes. Don't forget, this is still BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub. Remember, disagreements don't have to divide you. They can only deepen your love if handled the right way. So catch you again, see you again in our next video. And always remember,
Love is work.
But
It is God's
it's God's work. The Lord bless
Bye.
you. Goodbye. See you again in our next video. Congratulations for being with us. And I know your marriage will begin to work from today. And it will be a heaven on earth order of marriage from today. Congratulations to you. What do you say to our viewers?
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for
stay
being with
blessed.
us. Be blessed. Bye. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, you are our brothers. Yeah.